Hey friends, welcome back to Self-Made. It's Kris Krohn and Grant Thompson.
If you're gonna start a YouTube channel, why not build it successfully? And so the purpose of this video is to give you some instructions on how you can build a YouTube channel that is almost guaranteed to be a success. Let's jump right in.
Boom!
So how do you get started creating a successful YouTube channel? How do you build something that is going to bring success? We want to say with confidence in this video, there are at least 3 things that you can get started doing today that are going to get that working for you.
Grant, I am so excited about what we're going to be doing today because really a big part of what it is to be self-made is to make sure you get your message out to the world, whether you're an entertainer, whether there's a cause that you want to promote. YouTube is such an incredible platform, but there's so many people with good intentions, and those intentions are going to go to their grave unless they really get these specific steps. So today I'm really excited for the 3 that we are going to be sharing.
Yeah, there's a very inspired writer, a great thought leader, a few decades ago, Napoleon Hill. In one of his books, Think and Grow Rich, he talks about how to really get definite with who you are. And he said the 3 principles of success that will work for any purpose is to define your purpose, to concentrate your efforts, and to be persistent. If you do those 3 things, get really clear with what your purpose is, concentrate all your efforts on that purpose, and then remain consistent, you will have success. And I think about this like drilling a hole through a concrete wall. If you really specifically decide where you want to drill that hole, you put all of your efforts into it, and then you just stay there, even if it takes 8 hours grinding away, eventually you will pop a hole through to the other side. And I think that's all we're trying to go through.
Although sometimes along the way you got to switch out the drill bit, and so I think some of the things that we're going to do today are going to be a great accelerator so that you can even punch through that hole, through that wall just a little bit faster. So the 3 things that we want to talk about for launching a successful YouTube channel, that is number 1, you've got to know your purpose.
And we have made some videos previously that'll help you identify what your purpose is and how to weigh that against what's popular and how to put it into a mold that will be digestible content in this internet world. So get really clear with what you resonate with, what you love to do, and how to package it in a way that people want to consume.
Perfect. Number 2, you have got to have a plan.
Now, I think I'm going to distill this down to 3 different concepts. Despite what the YouTube algorithm is doing, despite what people are saying, it really comes down to 3 main principles. You want to get people to click your video, you want to get people to watch your entire video to the end, and you want to get people to share that video. Now, it's up to you to innovate new ways of doing this and to get creative on how you get people to click, watch, and share, but essentially that's what it's going to come down to. What plan are you going to have for producing your videos long term in a way that you don't burn out? Because this has got to be consistent for the long term. And how do you do it in a way that people are going to click, watch, share?
Okay, so a couple of things for you to bear in mind with click, watch, and share. First of all, on click, one of the things that I do when I post my videos is I'm always titling them after keyword research. The reality is that the world is out there and you've got these thousands and millions of searches every single day with people going on to Google and asking questions and looking for information. And your video can pop up if you're actually linking the keyword. So right now, that's a way that I get people to click on my channel, on some of my educational how-to videos when it comes to finance, real estate, etc. When it comes to watch time, when I make my videos, one of my strategies is I'll often at the start of my video tell people what they're going to get at the end of the video, either a bonus or something special. And what that does is that encourages people to want to watch all of that information. And then in our world of sharing today, if it is really good content and you're out there and motivating people to subscribe and ring the bell and then share that with other people, those are just 3 simple things that you can do as far as a plan goes with click, watch, and share. Although, like Grant said, there are so many different ways of doing that. The most important thing is you've got to have a plan.
And the thing about a plan is it has an end from a beginning. When you get into a plan, it's because you know that if you build this step by step, you are going to achieve a destination. So have a very specific plan, and this falls under the concentrate your efforts section of success. And so while you're concentrating your efforts, it's very important to be true to yourself, be true to your brand. Don't deviate too much outside of that. That's going to take you off course of your plan. But as you're developing your thumbnails for your videos, your titles for your videos, you want to make them engaging for people to click and watch and share those videos, but you want to do it in a way that's true to you and your ultimate purpose.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now that this 3rd step is going to determine whether you're going to crash and burn or not. It's about having a long-term commitment. YouTube is not an overnight business. It's not a 30-day business. It's not a 90-day business. The reality is that if you make the choice to start a YouTube channel, then if you ever want it to really go anywhere, you've got to have a long-term commitment. We live in a world today, Grant, where I think there's a lot of people that we're not always eager to make these long-term commitments. We're thinking often short-term. But if you are going to jump into YouTube, then you've got to be thinking more long-term. I look at some of my goals. I have 20-year YouTube goals right now. In my personal life, of the message that I want to be sharing with the world, what I want that to look like, how that's going to be, how long I want that to endure, how that's building and expressing more of my personal purpose in life. And so you may not need a 20-year plan. I mean, BMW has a 100-year business plan. I don't know how a car company has a 100, like maybe it's hover boats and hoverboards or like jet packs or gets all crazy and whatnot. But you do need to plan on doing YouTube for years rather than months or weeks.
Yeah, think of YouTube as the journey of 1,000 miles. And every journey begins with the first step, and it's going to happen at different paces. There's going to be times when you feel like you're running. There's going to be other times when you feel like you're climbing a mountain and not making much progress at all. But it all comes down to commitment. You need to commit to that journey up front. Commit to reach that destination no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes. And that comes down to just a personal level of integrity in yourself. That's something that you need to be fully committed with an absolute certainty from the beginning, because you are going to stick with it, you are going to reach a destination, and you are going to have success. And there are a couple other things that you can do to help speed that process.
And before we talk about this, Grant, I just got to say this for a moment. I am a huge fan of what I call absolute or unconditional certainty. If you're going to decide to do something, understand that you really don't know what the road looks like. You don't know what course corrections looks like. You don't know what kind of opposition or trials that you're going to face along the way. But the reality is, if you go in with an absolute certainty, and that you can say, hey, no matter what, there's this unconditional, no matter what energy that says, I am going to do this. I'm going to put out these videos. I'm going to make this happen. Then when the opposition shows up, when the trials show up, when the haters show up, when the things happen that aren't that great in life, if you've made an absolute decision that no matter what I'm doing this, then you have a reason, something to push through. If you go in a little bit on wobbly feet and just be like, well, I'll do this as long as it's easy. I'll do it as long as it's convenient. I'll do it as long as it gives me something tomorrow. Listen, YouTube doesn't start by giving you something tomorrow, but it can give you a treasure of knowledge and information, influence and wealth with time if you're willing to stick with it.
And if the journey is worth taking, it's worth sharing with other people. So I would highly encourage you to find people to collaborate with. Bring them into your videos, go into their videos, get the experience, find out what equipment they're using, what their styles are, see if there's anything that you can integrate into your own style and learn along the way. And I would highly recommend that when you're starting your YouTube channel, try answering every one of the comments. For the first 50,000 subscribers I had on my channel, I answered every single comment without fail. And that taught me a lot of things. It taught me about what people wanted, and you get a lot of negative feedback, and it was a challenge to me to figure out how to positively take that negative feedback and try and turn it around. So I feel like it built me as a person. So as much of that experience you can get at the beginning, working with other people and taking other people with you, the more it's going to set your foundation for success long term.
Friends, today's video has been about purpose, planning, and committing. Ultimately, if you want to get that YouTube channel launched, if you want to do it successfully, you're going to need those three. And if you'd like to have a team of experts that have your back, that actually want to show you the sequence for success, the checklists and the systems, and walk you through it, even some of our team will actually step in and let you be the talent and do it for you. If you want to learn what that can look like, you want to learn about how we can help automate, systematize, and really learn from all the mistakes we've made along the way to get where we're at, then go ahead and click the link, check out the website or the link in the description below, and we'll get you more of that information as well.
That's the whole idea of Self-Made, is we feel like we're in a position where we can give some advice on how to build a successful YouTube channel, because we're actually in the trenches doing it ourselves. So we do have a link down in the description where you can learn more.